his first action of the day.
And this is the one area when I talked to Gordon at the roar test, he said the toughest thing he's been dealing with, he was the side quality adjustments, is these driver's changes because these cockpits are so small. He said, I'm covered in bruises just trying because we got to get this done so fast. And this was, boy, they got that done beautifully. Timed it to perfection. The fuel came out, the nozzle came out, and Gordon dropped the hammer, and all three Cadillac came in, did the stop, and have exited to absolute perfection. And our timing is also great because joining us on the line is a former teammate and a good friend of Jeff Gordon, 7-time NASCAR champion Jimmie Johnson. How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing great, guys. Great to be on the show.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'll tell you, he just executed a hugely quick driver change. They're all stacked up right now, though, Cal, at the end because the pit exit is clearly closed.
Yes, it is. You have to abide by that red light at pit out. They've got one of the other classes there, the number 4 Corvette, going to lead them around. And this is also good news. He's not coming down into that hairpin turn that can really catch people out. Jimmy, you've done this race before on cold tires. Pit exit, mate. That could be a nightmare in the middle of the night, as I'm sure you've experienced.
It is, and everybody tells you, and you think that you're going slow enough, and then you realize how narrow that the exit lane is, and how sharp of a turn it is, and you find yourself in the grass and then into the wall. So it really is amazing how many laps it takes to get one of those light vehicles, to get the tires up to temp, to really let them perform like they need to.
Now, you know Jeff as well as anyone, but he's really bit off a big chunk here. The top 3 came in together. They got their stop done quickest. He's leading the other 2 Cadillacs. They're going to restart his first race laps in this car with the defending champions right behind him. He's a cool customer, but you know he takes this serious. What do you think the nerves are like for him right now? What do you think he's thinking?
He's very aware in the cockpit, so I know that the focus is obviously to be there at sunrise and worry about racing from that point on. So if he's under too much pressure, I think he'll just let guys do what they need to get started here on the restart that's coming up. You know, again, it's so tricky in how stiff those cars are and how long it takes to get the tires up to temp. In a NASCAR vehicle, within a couple corners, your tires are up to temp and the car sticks, and it just takes a while to get used to that in one of these prototypes.
And I was going to ask Jimmy, you know, as somebody obviously like Jeff, and when you've run here, it's not something you do all the time. And when you get in the car for the first time in the heat of the race, you know, what's going on with you just generally at that point? Because you've been on the pit wall, you've watched the start, and now it's your turn. You know, what do you have to be mentally ready for once you get out on track, other than the obvious things of cold tires, etc.?
You know, once you get back under green and make a few corners, your instincts kick in. But obviously, driver changes are something that we never do. The cockpit's different. There's different mapping. You know, steering wheels. There's a lot of different things in your environment. So you're double and triple checking and making sure everything's where it needs to be. And unfortunately, once you grab a few gears and get up to speed, you're just driving the car and kind of back in the zone at that point.
And for you guys that have, you know, had obviously tremendous success in the Cup Series, that's a very busy year-long run for you guys. You don't get a lot of off time. What is the draw to give up some of that precious off time and come here and run Daytona?
Yeah, it's tough. Prior to kids, I raced, I think, maybe 3 times in the prototype class. Was able to finish second. Truly enjoyed my experience and look forward to the day that I come back. But as you pointed out, there's so few off weekends and off days that I'm taking this time with my family. I'm actually on top of a mountain in Colorado. Stepped out from lunch with my family and calling in to check in and support Jeff and the telecast. But I certainly want to come back. I think probably as Jeff has done it the post-Cup career would be a great time. I want to come back and be extremely focused and on a great race team and have a shot to stay on that top box. Been able to finish second there, I think twice. The prototype class. I'd love to come back and win and get the watch.
Hey, Jimmy, I know this is a team sport, so you share success and disappointment together with your crew, but what's it like having teammates? Does that add pressure when you come to one of these endurance races and you got teammates in the car with you? And you know it's their championship season on the line?
Yeah, it does. I think, you know, in Jeff's situation and even mine, it was always nice because you had data to look at. You had drivers to really compare their technique to. Guys to ask questions about in the wet, if it rains, cold tires. You know, just somebody to truthfully answer you and have your interest at heart. So I always found that aspect was very comforting. But at the same time, I did crash one of the cars when I was in the Red Dragon for Gainesville. I crashed in practice, and you never want to be that guy, and I was that guy, and I felt terrible. So that's just one thing you hope you never do.
Well, Jimmie, we're going to let you get back to lunch with your family, but I do want to just say one thing. I don't know if you remember this, but a long time ago, you were my analyst when we were calling the Core Off-Road Truck Series, and you came into the booth one day, and it was a very small booth, and you just couldn't sit still. You were bouncing off the walls, and finally I said, what is going on with you? And you looked at me and you went, can you keep a secret? Because you said, I'm not supposed to tell anybody, I'm going to blow up if I don't. And I said, yeah, what? And he goes, Hendrick just signed me. Jimmie, it has been amazing to watch where you come from that to where you are now, and I'm so proud of you. And it's an absolute honor, my friend.
Well, thank you. It's great chatting with you guys, and look forward to catching some of the telecasts, and I hope it's a safe race for everyone.
All right, kick back, relax, and enjoy that snow out there in Colorado. But we'll be right back
Will do.
here at Daytona.